What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, we back on a boxing talk once again. So yesterday, after the Ryan Garcia and Javier Fortuna fight, Rolando Romero was at the fight and he challenged Errol Spence Jr. to a fight at 147 pounds, right? And Rolly Romero said the following, and I quote, he said, "I want Errol Spence Jr. at 147 pounds. I'm moving up. I'm a big 135 pounder. I give two fucks about 140. It's a no-name ass division. I want Spence at 147. I'ma fuck him up. That googly-eyed ass motherfucker, and he's ugly as fuck." Right? That is what Rolly Romero said about Errol the True Spence Jr., right? And the first thing I said when I saw this is, man, this dude Rolly is a goddamn character. 1000%. He is a character if I have never seen one before, for real. Rolly go around talking shit, talking crazy about any and everybody, saying he gonna fuck up everybody. At this point, Rolly probably tell you he would have fucked up Mike Tyson back in the day. He would have fucked up Evander Holyfield. He would have whooped George Foreman ass, and he probably tell you he'll fuck Deontay Wilder up too. That's how he talking. That's the energy he is admitting, right? And when I see stuff like this, all I can think is Rolly Romero don't care nothing about winning. He don't give a damn about winning a fight at all. At this point, he just want to make a name for himself and get all the money he can get. He out for the biggest bag. Seriously. He know in his heart of heart he can't beat no Errol Spence Jr. And I'm sure he probably had doubts about beating Tank, right? But he want the bag at the end of the day. He want that bread. And in order to get that bread, he recognizes that he got to talk a whole lot of shit and he got to challenge big name opposition to be able to be put in that platform, like to be on pay-per-view. He got to talk crazy, right? And I'm looking at Rolly. I'm like, look at this dude talking. Look at this man. The man just want to be the most entertaining fighter. He want to be an entertainer. I'm sorry. He wants to be an entertainer in like the mode of a Jake Paul to me. Seriously, it's like Jake Paul whole formula. Talking about he'll fuck this one up. He'll whoop his ass. He'll kick his ass. He'll kick his ass. Talking crazy about all the top dogs in a weight division that's close to his in order to get back in that pay-per-view spot. Seriously. Everybody, I'm going to be real with y'all. We all know it. Rolly sold that fight with Tank. Honestly, if Rolly didn't talk much, if he was like a mute or if he just had a boring personality, nobody would have cared about that matchup. Nobody probably would have even wanted to buy that pay-per-view. People love watching Tank and his knockout ability, but what really had people enamored to watch that fight is the fact that they saw Rolly talking all this shit in the world, and they was like, damn, right? And he is of the Jake Paul ilk, except he's a real professional boxer. Even though he started late at 17 years old, he's a professional boxer. Got 15 professional bouts under his belt. So people were like, okay, let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do, right? And before he got knocked out, I would say he had a pretty good showing, or his showing was better than what I expected it to go, even though Tank was baiting him to get the perfect shot to knock him out and stop him in grand fashion. And that's what he did, right? But I'm looking at Rolly like this man calling out an undefeated champion 2 weight classes above his. No, not 2 weight. Yeah, Rolly fight at 135. So yeah, 2 weight classes above his. Just talking shit, talking crazy. I'm looking like this man has less than 20 fights, and look how greasy he talking. Look how greasy he talking, man. This shit is phenomenal. It just I'm like, this dude is unbelievable. I don't know Bullet Cromwell didn't instill some type of confidence in this dude to make him feel like he can beat any fighter in the world, or maybe that's just Rolly in general, or maybe he don't feel like that shit at all. Like I said, he just want the bag, and they just know what they got to do to get the bag. And Al Heyman will put him in there because he know he got that Adrian Broner type mouthpiece where he gonna talk so much shit that people gonna be like, man, get rid of this dude, or I want to see what this dude can do. Al recognizes that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he does. I'm going to say this about the young dude, Rolly. He got a lot of heart. He got moxie. He'll fight the biggest names whenever. But I'm going to also say this. He would get his ass absolutely obliterated. Sent to the moon and stars. Had that boy seeing stars like he's sitting inside of a wraith. He'll be seeing stars like he's sitting inside of a wraith. Fighting Errol Spence Jr. No question. Errol Spence would tenderize that boy ribs like a barbecue on Labor Day morning. On Labor, like I promise y'all. Errol lighting his damn body up like a goddamn Christmas tree. All that. Lighting his shit up like the 4th of July. And stopping that boy in terrible fashion. He beating him up. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't be close. It wouldn't be no Rolly is an underdog, none of that shit. This shit would be it would be out of Errol Spence's league to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. With how crazy Rolly talks, it's hard not to want to watch him fight. And sometimes you find yourself like trying to root for him to see what he can do. You know what I mean? I give him credit. He calls out whoever he want to call out. He say any name you want to say. It ain't no I got to talk to my team or none of that. He ain't talking about I got to sit down with my team to see what's best for my career. He going out and going for the top dogs. With that being said, he still get his ass whooped by Errol Spence Jr. 2 feet in that boy's ass on TV. And the shit would be horrendous to watch. It would be worse than Arturo Gatti, Floyd Mayweather Jr. It would be worse than Errol and Mikey Garcia. It would be a worse ass. What was an ass whooping in Balago? Pure D ass whooping. Like, I'm trying to see. Woo! Like I remember when Roy was whooping on ripping on my boy. What's my boy, man? Godly Lights Out. Right? It would be like, I'm trying to think. Shit, remember when Evander was whooping on Mike Tyson ass? It'd be worse than that, man. It would be terrible. Terrible. So Errol would get absolutely no credibility from that fight, and Errol knows that. That's why he just brushed Rolly Romero off like, man, this dude his ass is something wrong with dude. His ass is off. Some stuff you don't got to respond to, and Errol Spence is absolutely right. Leave that shit where it's at. Errol is just focused on getting Frank Martin to fight his fighter. Errol's trying to get his own fighter, Frank Martin, to fight Rolly Romero, which is a smart thing to do. Rolly talk a whole lot of shit. If Frank is able to beat Rolly and possibly stop him, Frank's his status elevates tremendously. And he gets a chance to get in there with a bigger name, Ryan ain't really did nothing, but like a Ryan Garcia, a Tank Davis, a Devin Haney, a Shakur Stevenson or something. If Shakur moves up to 135 or something like that, it will give him a chance to get looked at in that type of ilk and get him a bigger fight a bigger name opponent if he was to fight Rolly and beat him. So I understand Errol trying to get Rolly to fight his guy, right? But also, I said, you calling out Errol because of the big payday, and he also could be mad that Errol said put his ass in the dirt when Gervonta Tank Davis, when his boy Tank knocked out Rolly. And Rolly probably saw that shit and got pissed and got mad, like, you know what? I want to fight Errol. Fuck him, whatever. Don't want to talk shit. But, that fight is never going to happen. It's not. Errol will lose all the credibility in the world for fighting Rolly because they didn't give him credit for beating Mikey Garcia because they felt like he was a 135-pounder and you don't get no kudos from fighting a guy that was at 135. That shit don't look good at all and you didn't stop him and all this and all that. So imagine fighting a guy with less skill and less. He wasn't a championship fighter, a champion like Mikey was. He's less skilled than Mikey. He didn't beat worthy opposition like Mikey has. So it would be a lose-lose for Errol, so it wouldn't happen in the first place. But if it did, the boy's getting fucked up. What my man Bill Duke say? You know you didn't fucked up, right? Now you know you didn't fucked up. You know you done fucked up, right? It would be a situation just like that, and Errol Spence would be looking crazy in the end, right? But I'm gonna say this about Lil Rolly, man. With his shit talking and some wins against some few good opponents, Rolly could at least be like in the Adrian Broner type. Nah, fuck it. I can't say AB. AB had He had titles in 4 different weight classes. Clown Adrian Broner all you want. AB had 4 titles in 4 different weight classes, which is not an easy thing to do. It's hard to do, right? And he was moving up in weight fast. Went up to 147, beat Paulie Malignaggi for a belt. I forgot what belt it was that Paulie had. But Adrian he's been a champion in 4 different weight classes. So I don't see Rolly doing that, but he could at least be a draw where guys would be like, you know what, I want to watch this dude fight because he talks so much shit. I want to see him back it up. And he hits hard, too. He's big and strong, and he can crack. The problem is, defense is not particularly too strong, and he's susceptible to getting countered with some vicious shit, just like Tank Davis countered him with I think it was like a left hook they called him, right? So he's susceptible to being countered with stuff like that. But with the big mouth he got and the flair that he can possess outside of the ring at times, even though it can be a little awkward and cringe at certain times, it's still funny. It's still entertaining as hell. So he could be a guy that can draw a whole lot of revenue for the PBC. So that it should be seen what Rolly will do in the future, but I know one thing for sure. He better stay his ass far the fuck away from Errol Spence Jr. and Bullet Cromwell better not ever let that shit be a thought no more after saying that, because I promise you the shit is going to be ugly. He going to drop to the floor like Manny Pacquiao dropped when Juan Manuel Marquez dropped him that time. What my and there's no disrespect to no disrespect to Manny. But what my boy Roy Jones say, he not getting up, Jim. He not getting up, Jim. They gonna say he not getting up. He not getting up. God damn. There's gonna be some shit just like that. The boy gonna end up looking like Tommy Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns on the Martin show. Y'all know, anybody that watched Martin know what I'm talking about. When he boxed against Tommy Hearns and his face was all lumped up and he asked Gina to give him a kiss and she said, blew the kiss at him because she said, hell no, he was looking too ugly and looking too crazy. That could be a similar fate for Rolando Romero. But you know what? The best, all best to Rolly. You know, I wish him the best. But you stay ass away from that big fish because you're going to get your ass ate. You're going to get taken in deep waters and get ate the fuck up. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.